And some, if not many, would argue that Hayes could have and should have won it in 2022, but put it all together last year. Really strong final couple of months at the plate as well. Oh, and what a play at second base by Maton to retire Hayes and rob him of a hit. 1 inning complete in Bradenton. It's 0-0.
In Pittsburgh, confluence is where it all comes together. Depth and breadth. Our expansive financial planning resources support your unique life and legacy. Teamwork in everything we do. It's part of our DNA. And connection. At the heart of our wealth management philosophy is the well-being of our clients. 100% from here. One of Pittsburgh's fastest growing companies. Confluence Financial Partners.
Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an award-winning Equinox. Lend a hand in the Silverado with a high-definition rear-vision camera. Or mix it up in the tracks with an 11-inch diagonal display screen. Find the Chevy that's right for you. Or current qualified lessees can get this Silverado for $389 a month. Or current Chevy owners get $6,000 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Major mattress manufacturers are raising their prices soon. Before they do, you can beat the price increase at Levin Furniture and Mattress. When you shop now, you're guaranteed to save on Purple, Tempur-Pedic, and Beauty Rest. Plus, pay only $1 a month till May and 0% interest till 2026. Plus, get up to $300 Levin cash and free next-day delivery and setup. It will never cost less to sleep on an ultra-premium mattress. Beat the price increase now at Levin.
Mitch Keller has quite literally grown up within the Pirates organization, and with that comes some growing pains. And when it came time to thank those who believed in him along the way, specifically manager Derek Shelton and pitching coach Oscar Marine, the ace became emotional.
I want to say thanks to Shelty, Oscar, especially. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional a bit, but yeah, just through 2021, 2022, the start. Yeah, just for you guys to stay with me and stay confident in me, and yeah, there's a lot to be said there, but just, yeah, for you to have instilled confidence in me, to let me know that I am the player that I am today, has always been in there, and to just keep pushing with me and keep believing in me, really set me up for success now, and has given me the ability to kind of work through some hard times that come through a major league season. So really, thank you. It's huge, honestly.
I don't think there was a dry eye standing around Mitch Keller when he was talking about the thanks he gives to this organization. But Neil, what do you think this does for Mitch Keller's confidence moving into the season, having this deal done?
Well, that's a great point. I mean, we know this is our guy, this is our ace. We know that he is going to be able to be an integral piece of this starting pitching staff and this team moving forward. But, you know, I thought that last year going into the season was a big moment for him, that first couple months, to see how he was going to, you know, take the reins per se after that 2022 season. And he answered the bell and, you know, became an all-star. He, you know, basically became the leader of that pitching staff, and a guy that, number one, is a terrific person and a guy that really cares and wants to win, but is able to rally the troops as well on a day-to-day basis. When you're in the locker room, you know who is the guy in charge of the pitching staff, especially, and that's Mitch.
Second strikeout for him, 2 away. You know, it is going to be fascinating to watch, you know, as he continues to grow. He's not a finished product yet, but now that is that weight, and it can be a weight on the shoulders about contract extensions, now that that's gone and he can free himself up, how much better will he be this year? Breaking ball missing to Mateo. Keller, who struck out 200 batters last year, 210, most ever by a Pirates right-handed pitcher. also gave credit during that press conference. You saw that emotional moment. He wanted to point out the work that Radley Haddad has done with him. And a base hit to center field. Sawinski quickly over. And a double for Mateo.
Oh, Mitch just catching a little bit too much of the plate right here. And as you see, Sawinski in center is shading him a little bit toward right center field. And there's just a huge gap in left center. And when these balls are hit hard like this past the shortstop, there's usually a good chance you're going to get two. And that's exactly what Mateo does.
Sam Hilliard is the DH, the veteran. Former Rocky with the Braves last year, and now his first season with the O's. One of Keller's best pitching performances of his career against Baltimore last year at Camden Yards in Baltimore, middle of May. 13 strikeouts, didn't allow a run, didn't allow a walk. First Pirates pitcher in the live ball era going back to 1920 to have that kind of a ball game.
And I think that's the thing that we really became accustomed to seeing with Mitch last year, when he, in particular individual games, when he was able to get settled in, as you see a really good cutter right there from him, when he was able to settle in those innings 1 through 3, it was almost like it's over. If he was finding the strike zone, getting strike one, getting in 1-2, 0-2, 2-2 counts, he was practically unhittable at times. And any time that we saw him grind a little bit was just when he wasn't able to settle in early in the game and find his control. And but the arsenal is just so effective and so good with the 4-seam, 2-seam cutter, slider, even at times changeup combination.
Fouled away by Sam Hilliard with a runner at second, 2 outs, and this will be it for Mitch Keller in terms of innings. His first start, looking for 2 relatively clean frames. Well, we thought it would have been strike 3, but not according to the home plate umpire Chad Fairchild. So the inning will continue, and it brings up Nick Maton. Keller last year in 194 innings, 55 walks to go along with 210 punch-outs. And that'll do it. A couple of scoreless for Keller. As Rowdy Tellez handles it, Jack Sawinski will lead off.
When you need to fuel your day, Get-Go Cafe and Market makes it easy and delicious with a menu full of choices. Handcrafted sandwiches and wraps, crisp garden fresh salads, flavorful desserts and snacks, and barista quality hot or cold coffees. It's all inside at Get-Go Cafe and Market. The market with amazing food and gas too. Get-Go Cafe and Market. Better believe it.
Get your camera ready to snap QR codes that reveal big savings during Toyota's President's Event, where special low APR financing can mean thousands in savings on a growing number of in-stock SUVs. Right now, get a RAV4 or Highlander with low 3.99% APR, plus special President's Event savings of $500 Toyota finance cash. Visit buyatoyota.com to find President's Event deals on your favorite vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm attorney David Schrager. If you or a loved one have been charged with a crime, you might be in for the fight of your life. Well, don't be scared. Be prepared. Call my law firm for a free consultation. Whether you've been wrongly accused or simply made a bad choice, we know your rights and we are here to fight for you. Call or text my cell 24/7 to speak to me directly for a free consultation. And remember, don't be scared. Be prepared.
So we go now to the bottom of the second inning. here in Bradenton, Florida. Won't be long. The Pirates will open up the regular season home schedule at PNC Park against these Baltimore Orioles Friday, April the 5th. It's a 4-1-2 game. A 4:12 first pitch. All fans will get a 2024 magnetic schedule. Get your tickets now at pirates.com/opening day. You won't want to miss it. Pirates and Orioles. Of course, the Pirates beat these Baltimore Orioles in 2 World Series in the 1970s, 1971, 1979. And they'll open up the 2024 home schedule at PNC Park after a week on the road on a Friday afternoon in the Berg. Jack Sawinski now. 26 homers last year. 74 RBIs. Rowdy Tellez on deck. We'll see 144 games.
Well, with Jack, and coming into last spring training, we saw him make an effort. As you see, Rowdy Tellez, we're going to get a first look at him as Jack fouls that back. Jack made a physical adjustment last year going into spring training. He wanted to be a little bit taller and find a way to get kind of more to the top of the zone. And this year he seemed to be a little more settled in as far as his approach and what worked for him last year during the season and what he thinks will work for him again. And this is another guy like O'Neal Cruz that will be interesting to see how often we're going to see him against left-handers. Obviously, he plays very good defense. He finds ways to get on base, and he's got tremendous power.
And the left-hander, Irvin, gets his second strikeout. I'll face another lefty hitter in Rowdy Tellez. So the new Pirates pitcher will be Dowry Moreta. Should be part of a really strong Pirates bullpen. We'll get into that as we go along. We'll also chat live with Derek Shelton on the bench with us coming up in the 5th inning. And General Manager Ben Cherington will be with us in the booth in the 7th inning. So stick around. Enjoy baseball in the sunshine here in Bradenton, Florida. Tellez. This is just foul.
Well, if there's one thing I can say about Rowdy Tellez, I would venture to say there will be many times where you're going to see him put some balls in the Allegheny River. He has light tower power. He's a bigger guy.
Back-to-back Ks for Cole Irvin. Tellez down on strikes. Tellez had an injury-shortened season last year with the Brewers.
The backup slider that kind of got him right there.
Veteran switch hitter Yasmani Grandal, 35-year-old, one-time first-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds. .234 last year with 8 homers. Most recently with the White Sox. Spent time in Milwaukee, San Diego. With the Dodgers for a time. Way up there. Not a lot of wind to worry about today. So easy for Cowser and for Cole Irvin. 6 up, 6 down, onto the 3rd.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
As you'll notice in this 6-team league, every single one is stacked. It's Minnesota.
The impossible has become a reality. A historic day for the Professional Women's Hockey League.
Oh, my Lord.
She really fought hard and
score!
And she'll score! Point streak continues. she fun to watch.
And the other reason I'm really thrilled today to be here is it really is fundamentally all about winning in Pittsburgh. It's been clear for a long time that the biggest impact that we're going to have on the club, the way we're going to get better, is to continue to build from within. Internal improvement of the players that we have, and continue identification of players, development of players, deployment of players, as Ben says regularly, but as we also saw with Cabrian, as we saw with Brian, and now with Mitch, the last piece of that is also then to commit to those players.
So there is team owner Bob Nutting, that soundbite from the press conference on Friday announcing the long-term deal for Mitch Keller. He finishes up the 2 innings of work. Let's go down to Hannah Mears.
We are joined with the man of the hour here, Mitch Keller. You got 2 scoreless innings out of this first game. How good did it feel to knock the dust off?
Yeah, it always feels good. Get the first one out of the way, and then yeah, just coming out and competing again is always fun with the guys, and yeah, just having the fans here is great. It's fun all around.
Yeah, it's fun in spring training. The sun is shining, and Grandal was your catcher. With that ongoing competition, how comfortable did you feel with him as the new guy on the block?
Yeah, I felt really comfortable with him. We went over some scouting reports before the game, just kind of what I like to do, and then I'm just having the first kind of week of spring training, throwing live BPs and bullpen sessions. We've already kind of talked and gotten to know each other a little bit, and he knows what I like to do. So it's pretty seamless going out there today, and just had fun with it.
Yeah, your parents were actually able to make the trip down as well. How special was it to share all of these big moments that were happening for you?
Yeah, it's awesome. Just to have them be able to come down. They weren't planning on coming to spring training this year, just because they've come to so many, and they'd rather come see us during the season and stuff. But yeah, special moment for them to be able to come down, and yeah, I couldn't be happier for that.
I know you and Clancy had both Chili's and Domino's to celebrate your big contract, but your dad was telling me he preferred maybe a steak, potatoes, can of corn. He's not a lettuce guy, though, he said. So did you take him to a proper steak dinner?
Yeah, we went to a nice steakhouse and got a good dinner. Yeah, not much of a lettuce guy. It's his famous quote, which is funny. Yeah, it's good. So we went to dinner, had a nice dinner, and really special moment. Yeah.
Mitch, there are Pirates fans that people can't see standing in front of us right now, just waiting to get a glimpse of you. After that All-Star season, what can Pirates fans expect to see from you moving forward?
Yeah, just trying to grow off of last year. Really just trying to keep going, and whatever I can do to help the team win is what I'm really trying to do now, and just trying to go out there and compete and have fun and win a lot of games.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds was telling me that something exciting about the clubhouse right now is just a different level of confidence moving into the season. And he specifically said, we've got some young arms we're excited to see. So you got more of a glimpse of that. You're with them on a daily basis going through drills. So what can we expect to see from some of those young arms on the team?
Yeah, I mean, we have so many great arms in the farm system, and then that are really just kind of ready to go. It's really exciting time, and like Priester, Rowe looks really good. Geez, I'm probably missing some. Put me on the spot, but I'm missing a bunch. But we have Skeens, obviously. Yeah, we have a lot of guys that look really good, and it's an exciting time for our organization and for our big league club. Just super excited for this year and to see how those guys come up and help us out.
Did you feel that similar feeling walking into the clubhouse this year? Is there more of a positive energy and excitement moving forward? Oh yeah, absolutely. Just having some of the core guys back, and it feels like it's not a brand new team like it has felt in the previous years. It feels like we're coming back to the same guys, just like catching up on last season and catching up on our conversations and having those really good relationships, and it's really fun. Well, it's also going to be fun for fans to get to see you make an opening day start again for the second consecutive year. How much are you looking forward to that and take pride in that position? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Last year was really special just because it was the first one, obviously, and then yeah, this one's cool. Feel like a leader of the staff when you get the nod, and yeah, just trying to take on that role a little bit and
really just guide our staff to winning a lot of games and going deep into games and setting up our amazing bullpen that we have. I mean, geez, I'm really excited for them.
Did Shelty pop the champagne with you yet? He told me it was way too early when he gave the bottle to you, but have you had a mimosa since, Mitch?
No. Well, actually, I had some champagne at the steakhouse, so there we go. But not that bottle, but hopefully soon. Yeah, hopefully we get to share it with him soon.
And lastly, we had showed everybody just the emotions of what this week has been like for you, specifically when you were mentioning guys like manager Derek Shelton, pitching coach Oscar Marine. What made you so emotional in that moment? Just what really made it all sink in right then and there?
Just thinking back on, all the rough times. I'm sure as many fans have probably hated watching me pitch, but during those times, it sucked. But they stood with me through it all and had my back and were confident in me and knew how good I was as a pitcher and really just believed in me and always gave me that confidence going forward. So I was just super grateful for everything they've done for me to get me to this point, and they'll always be there with me now as we continue to go. So just a really special moment for everybody involved.
Yeah, the Pirates sure believe in you moving forward with that big contract extension. We'll have plenty more of Mitch Keller this season. Pop that champagne, Greg. He is here to stay for a while.
Hannah, thank you. Yeah, look forward to doing that. Maybe Mitch, we can do that with Mitch. Neil and I and Hannah, that's an idea. Mitch, if you're looking for people to share that bottle with, an idea,
I think that's a great idea.
That's great stuff from Mitch Keller talking there with Hannah Mears about the emotion of it all, and tremendous story. How about that quote too about his dad? Not much of a lettuce guy, Al Keller. So they went to that steakhouse.
Well, they're from Iowa.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Got some of the best beef in the world.
Yep.
Right? But how humble, how gracious, how much does it just seem when you hear Mitch Keller talk? Just
he's so down to earth.
Down to earth. Yeah. He's just exuding. Number one, he's exuding confidence, but he's also he understands where this organization is and where this club is and where they can potentially get to in fairly quick order. And I don't think he's taking that lightly. I think he takes the number one starter role and the leadership role very seriously. And Greg, that ball would have got you right there.
Yeah, years ago before they put that netting up. Thank goodness for the netting, Neil. Wow. But you just saw Al and Joni Keller, mom and dad, and his wife there, Clancy, his brother John, in from Iowa. As Hannah said, the first time in 4 years they've actually been here to watch him pitch. Dauri Moreta had a good first year with the Pirates. It's the first out here in the third, got a ground out, then he walked. Cowser now trying to get Ryan Mountcastle. There are the Kellers.
And Dari, kind of like Jose Hernandez, a guy obviously not a Rule 5 guy, but a guy that was a really integral piece of that bullpen last year that we didn't know a ton about before he came to Pittsburgh before last season. And he proved to get more and more higher leverage innings as the season went along, has the unique slider, curveball, whatever you want to call it. Still has a mid-upper 90s fastball that, he typically pitches that off of the slider, but the slider has been a pitch that's been so effective for him, getting swing and misses and getting weak contact, that you'll see that 60-70% of the time, a lot of times when he's out for his outings.
That's pulled foul. Opponents hit just 187 against Moreta last year, his first season with the Pirates. He came over from the Cincinnati Reds in the deal for Kevin Newman. Finished with a 3.72 ERA. Mitch Keller just discussed that with Hannah about this strong bullpen. The Pirates added the big lefty, Aroldis Chapman. He strikes out Mountcastle for the second out.
Gets him with the fastball, threw him a handful of sliders before this pitch right here. Like I mentioned, he pitches backwards. He's one of the rare relievers, Moreta, that pitches backwards. You see him kind of get ahead and try to get weak contact early in the count with that slider, and even at times that changeup. And every once in a while, he'll throw 3 or 4 in a row and then try to hit you with that fastball, just like he did right there at the top of the zone.
James McCann fouls off the fastball. Struck out against Keller. Keller 2 innings in his spring debut, a hit, no runs, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. As he begins his build-up toward opening day when it counts, the 28th of March. And to second base, there's Cowser.
That was a little bit awkward. I'm not sure if Grandal lost the grip on the ball, or if he thought Cowser was going to stop. But watch, yeah, I think he just kind of pump fake and thought that maybe Cowser was going to head back to first. Yeah. You can see him kicking himself.
Catching situation going to be interesting to watch this spring. They signed Grandal. There had been rumblings that the Pirates were looking at Gary Sanchez as a free agent. They go with Grandal, and presumably to be a mentor of sorts to Henry Davis, who caught yesterday. And a strikeout for Moreta. After the stolen base, he pitches a scoreless third. It's 0-0 here in Bradenton.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey on Sportsnet is presented by Baseball Card Castle. With over 20 million cards in stock and thousands of authentic autographed items, we are your premier sports card and memorabilia destination. Located on Route 19 in Cranberry Township, where our customer is king.
We're so confident in the capability of our SUVs and the performance of our sedans that we offer a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty on every vehicle in our lineup. A fact that should make you confident in your confidence that you've made the right choice with Kia. Lease the new 2024 Sportage LX for $259 a month.
Don't miss out on seeing the Panthers finish the regular season.
Makes the handoff and jammed it home.
Watch Blake Hinson continue his assault on ACC foes.
Blake Hinson.
Get single-game tickets while they last.
As you'll notice in this 6-team league, every single one is stacked. It's Minnesota.
The impossible has become a reality. A historic day for the Professional Women's Hockey League.
Oh, my Lord.
She really fought hard and
score!
And she'll score! Point streak continues.
Another! Pick on the doorstep. Goal!
Just absolutely fired up.
Boy, was she fun to watch.
To the bottom of the third here in Bradenton, Florida, the Pirates and the Orioles. A bunch of folks on hand here down from Pittsburgh, and be up in Pittsburgh not too long from now. Pirates games, of course, more fun with groups. Start planning your group outing now. Group discounts start at just 10 people. Option to add on exclusive fan experiences, loaded value, and much more. To purchase your tickets for your group, go to pirates.com/groups. April 5 is the home opener at PNC Park. Home schedule starts with 3 against the Orioles and then 2 against the Tigers. Soaking up some sun. And the new pitcher is Keegan Aiken.
And mostly out of the bullpen there for Aiken, as you see, 24 games and only 1 start. Just under a 7 ERA.
Connor Joe lifts one to right. And quickly one down here. Connor Joe, who returned to the Pirates organization last year, had 11 homers, drove in 42 runs. Aiken spent some time in the major leagues and at AAA Norfolk for the Orioles last year. Here is Leover Peguero.
And as much as we talked about yesterday, the second base battle with Jared Triolo in the lineup yesterday and G1 Bay playing second base, here's another extension of that in-camp battle that we're going to see.
Line out to center. Peguero hit .237 in 59 games last year for the Pirates, 7 homers.
Squares this one up. It's bounced around a little bit in the past. Peguero has in middle infield, and saw him a few games at shortstop at the end of last year.
And now Nick Gonzalez with a fly ball to left. So quickly, Pirates up there taking their hacks and go down 1-2-3 and on to the 4th inning.
Minson Insulation. We are the energy conservation specialists. Our reputation has been built on years of providing superior insulation service, unmatched in quality and service. We install only the highest quality materials to ensure our customers the greatest savings on their energy bills. Call us today.
For 75 years, Eaton Park's been serving incredible, crispy, huge fish sandwiches.
It's easy, just put it in the cup. But the hazards, trees, sand, and water. Retirement, it's easy, right? Just stop working. What about retirement hazards? Healthcare, taxes. Did I save enough? Call today or visit our website. My team can put the retirement pieces together. I can't help you with these hazards, but let me help you avoid the hazards of retirement.
Safety First Retirement, ensuring your financial dreams.
The graduates we get from Triangle Tech are excellent. They fit right into our company.
Triangle Tech turned me into a very well-rounded carpenter. I was able to get an awesome job like this here at Lilyfoot.
No one trains you like Triangle Tech. Minson Insulation. We are the energy conservation specialists. Our reputation has been built on years of providing superior insulation service, unmatched in quality and service. We install only the highest quality materials to ensure our customers the greatest savings on their energy bills. Call us today.
Welcome back to Pirates Baseball on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. It's scoreless between the two teams right now, but both of these teams support great causes when they aren't playing on the field. And on Thursday, Pirates Charities hosted a Miracle League fantasy camp for more than 40 athletes from the Miracle League of Minnesota. Alongside Pirates Chairman Bob Nutting, Pirates players, coaches, and mascots, athletes had the opportunity to show off their skills in a clinic-style event and went home with a custom jersey. The event had a great turnout. And Greg, you were there emceeing the event as well, and you were incredible as always, but there truly is nothing like the smiles of those Miracle League athletes on those days.
Well, you were there too, Hannah, and it was a lot of fun. You're right. There is nothing like it. The players, and you said great participation. What a roster it was of Pirates players getting a chance to enjoy a day with those Miracle League athletes. Received medals from the Pirates like David Bednar and Colin Holderman. Here's Ryder Ryan. He was there. Ryder Ryan signed as a minor league free agent by the Pirates in December. Appeared in one game last year for the Seattle Mariners.
Kind of a 3/4 arm slot Ryder Ryan has. Just over a strikeout an inning last year in the minor leagues.
Diving stop. Peguero, man, that's one of the things you love to see about him, that athleticism, how quick he is. Covered a ton of ground there on a ground ball to Rob Erstad.
Yeah, what a terrific play right here from Peguero. Playing a little more straight up than you normally see out of a lefty, so he's got to go a long way into the outfield grass to get it. Corrals it right from his knees. That's how they teach you.
Over Peguero, robs Erstad. Now Jordan Westberg against Ryder Ryan. Ryder Ryan, one-time member of the Cleveland organization. He was drafted in the 30th round by Cleveland back in 2016. By the University of North Carolina. Let's go back to Hannah and talk more about Peguero.
I'm sure no one was more excited about the play Peguero just made than his best friend Nick Gonzalez. Now, the two are actually competing for that second base spot right now, but are rumored to be each other's biggest supporters as well. The two have had a bromance all throughout spring training, and they met in the minor leagues. Peguero told us that when he first saw Gonzalez in the minors, he was eating Chick-fil-A and decided to share his fries with him. Since then, the two have become inseparable. Peguero even went as far to say that Gonzalez is his favorite person ever. So, Neil, imagine competing against your best friend for a spot in spring training competition.
Well, I don't think there's any more sign of I love you as a teammate and a friend than sharing your Chick-fil-A fries. I mean, my kids won't even do that with me. But it is true, and obviously we talked about it a lot yesterday down in Fort Myers with the second base situation. And, you know, there's probably four guys, you know, Nick Gonzalez and Leo Peguero and G1 Bay and Jared Triolo that are going to get good opportunities to maybe take a you know, a stranglehold on that second base spot here in spring training. Whoa. Almost a terrific play right there from Ryder Ryan. Get to that swing and bunt. Looks like he's all right.
Base hit.
Now they work on this all the time, Greg. PFPs they call it, pitcher's fielding practice. It's not quite enough time to get that out.
Ryan, a little dribbler. Ali Sanchez is now catching for the Pirates. He's a player that Bucks brought in along with Grandal. They brought in Sanchez earlier. Of course, Endy Rodriguez got hurt playing winter ball. Tommy John surgery, and the Pirates say he's out for the year. Mateo fouls it off. He doubled off of Mitch Keller in the second. Keller 2 innings. Moreta a scoreless third. Now Ryder Ryan, a non-roster invitee. Right field, Connor Joe. 2 down.
You know, Greg, it's the top of the fourth. I'm shocked that we haven't had yet some sort of idea of what the weather is here, what the temperature is here, and what it is back in.
Oh, we will. Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
One of the favorite things of public address announcers in Florida is to do that, to rub it in. There's Endy Rodriguez. So frustrating, no doubt, for him. Big plans in 2024. Figured he was going to do a lot of the catching this year. He's going to spend some time here in Florida and start to rehab that elbow. Be up in Pittsburgh for a while. And now Ali Sanchez not able to corral it. Westberg into second.
Well, and this will be, you know, as somebody in Endy Rodriguez's situation, as you see this fastball just kind of yanked. Ali Sanchez does a good job of trying to corral it, just can't quite move that far to get it. Maybe should have backhanded it, but not the point. You know, he's going to have an opportunity to kind of slow down, to look at the game a little bit more. Obviously, he's going to be rehabbing every day, all day. You know, hopefully he takes it upon himself to really dive into, you know, the scouting reports for some of these guys on top of his physical rehab. But you know, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise to slow down, evaluate where you can be better in your game, especially from the mental side of things. And when you come back next year, from a physical standpoint, be healthy, but also take strides forward with the mental side of the game until your physical side eventually catches back up.
Take advantage of that time away from the game if you can. Sanchez. Hired signed him as a free agent in December. Sanchez was taken off the Diamondbacks roster. Became a free agent.
2 nice sliders after that walk. You got a couple pitches to play with right here. Do you want to run up the ladder with that fastball, or maybe try to bury a slider to get a chase?
Fastball to Maton at 93, 94 miles an hour from Ryder Ryan. Maton lined out to Tellez in the second. Pirates and Orioles here in Bradenton. Bucks will be on the road tomorrow. Drive up to Dunedin, about an hour north, to take on the Blue Jays, and then back here on Tuesday against Atlanta. And no swing. Our next telecast here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh will be this coming Friday. Pirates host the Tampa Bay Rays. By the way, tomorrow's game is also going to be on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. That will be the feed from Blue Jays side. Rogers Sportsnet will carry that for you. So you can watch it. There's a strike 3 called. And that does it. 2 men left on base. Go to the bottom of the 4th here in Bradenton, Florida. 0-0.
Major mattress manufacturers are raising their prices soon. Before they do, you can beat the price increase at Levin Furniture and Mattress. When you shop now, you're guaranteed to save on Purple, Tempur-Pedic, and Beauty Rest. Plus, pay only $1 a month till May and 0% interest till 2026. Plus, get up to $300 Levin cash and free next-day delivery and setup. It will never cost less to sleep on an ultra-premium mattress. Beat the price increase now at Levin.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks.
Move.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
You got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
I was running until I wasn't. My hospital stay would have cost nearly $48,000, even with insurance. But with VA, I'll pay $0. And VA is the best, most affordable healthcare in America for veterans like me. Knowing that my family is waiting at home and a surprise medical bill isn't, that's good for my heart. My service was then, my benefits are now. Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Grapefruit League action here in Bradenton. There is Derek Shelton, Pirates manager. We will talk to him coming up at the top of the 5th inning. Get his perspective. He's alongside some other coaches in the organization. Gary Green one side of him, and Brad Fisher on the other side. Derek Shelton. So Neil Cruz going to get his second at bat.
Brian Breaker in the game right here. 46 games last year. 45 innings. 51 strikeouts. When in talking about Cruz, to elaborate a little more, a lot of times as solidified big league position players, you'll have a conversation with your manager before spring training starts and say, hey, how many at bats do you feel you need this spring training to get you right? And for myself, when I established myself in the major leagues, it was closer to 30 to 35 at bats. I felt like that was a good number, but I like to bulk them up toward the end of spring training. And in this instance with O'Neill Cruz and with some of the younger players, especially the second base battle that's going on in a couple spots in the outfield, just keeps it. Just hits
impressive foul.
I'll be interested to see at the end of spring training how many at bats that they get Cruz, because of course you need him to get his innings out at shortstop. Watch this. We've missed that, haven't we?
Oh.
But usually on the high end of things, you'll see 50-ish at bats for guys that really need the at bats and so on and so forth.
He Just get the clock violation, and he's out.
I don't know. Part of me feels like that shouldn't be. There should be a little more leeway in spring training.
Well, this is his first since April, yeah, so he's not used to the timing. See that clock up there? Got to be in there, set and ready. Called out. Reynolds, this one to deep left field, the other way, and catch made by Kjerstad.
Oh, Brian gives this one a ride right here to the opposite field. Typically in spring training here in Bradenton, you'll see a little breeze in some direction, but today, not really the case. Terrific swing nonetheless. Staying inside it. Brian Reynolds obviously has the power to go leave the yard from both sides of the plate at any part of the field.
Hayes robbed of a hit by the second baseman. Ryan Hayes. The numbers in 124 games last year. Really took off toward the last couple of months.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I mean, you know, that late August, early September run that he had was so impressive. He was pulling balls. He was, you know, still using the opposite field in the middle of the field, and you know the ability he has to split the gaps, but also leave the yard is very impressive. We know how impressive he is as a third baseman. If he's able to consistently, you know, do some of the things that he was doing toward the end of last year, he's going to take a major step forward as far as things are concerned on the offensive side of things.
Hits it back to the box. We're going to talk to Pirates manager Derek Shelton when we come back.
When you've been hurt and you hire our office, you become part of our family, and we don't let anyone mess with our family. Goodrich and Geist.
Oh, beautiful for what's in reach. Within a few hours' ride. For gorges, glens, and hiking trails. For time spent side by side. Where waters shine and stars align. Where sunsets come alive. No matter where, we'll get you there. And proudly fuel the drive.
Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an award-winning Equinox. Lend a hand in the Silverado with a high-definition rear vision camera. Or mix it up in the Trax with an 11-inch diagonal display screen. Find the Chevy that's right for you. Or current qualified lessees can get this Silverado for $389 a month. Or current Chevy owners get $6,000 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
A trial is 99% preparation, and nobody prepares better than us. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
It is a scoreless ball game here in Bradenton. The Pirates home opener on the Grapefruit League schedule, and the Pierogies are down here. They're getting, you know, everybody needs spring training, and these really don't count. I think Oliver gets the win, but down here it doesn't count. But you still, you know, your competitors, you still want to try and win, even in a pretty meaningless spring training game. The Parrot judging.
You got to get those pierogi legs in shape somehow,
Yeah,
Greg.
yeah. Here is Brett Honeywell, acquired by the Pirates. Former second-round pick of the Tampa Bay Rays 10 years ago.
Two good fastballs right off the bat. Honeywell.
Pirate skipper Derek Shelton joins us. Shelty, how you doing?
What's up, guys? How are you? How's things?
Here's Shelty.
You got me now?
Okay, now we got you. Yeah.
All right. What's going on?
How's it going?
It's going well.
Do you like that? You like that clock violation? You love that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of clock violation. So, I mean, you know, it's part of the rules, and they're going to call it, you know,
by the book. Game one here.
Game one. I mean, I think we saw 3 of them yesterday down in Fort Myers, none of which were ours, but 3. The Twins got 3 of them last night. So, yeah, we've gotten 2 today with Ryder Ryan in between innings, and you know we had a pitch com issue, and the umpire didn't know that. I'm not going to go out, and then Cruzy right there. So
how's he? Hey, I know here we are, first game, but it's fun to see O'Neill Cruz back out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, Mitch, you know, walks the first hitter of the game, and then the ground ball that Mountcastle hit, and you know, Cruzy moves well and turns a double play. So it's good to see, you know, the fact that he's moving and that he's back on the field. I think that's the most important thing.
Skipper, have you had a conversation just individual with O'Neill about, you know, at least in your mind, the importance of, number one, the bulk amount of innings on his feet at the shortstop position in comparison to the amount of at-bats you'd love to see from him this spring training? Is there a combination of both? Are we going to see him, you know, more DH days here and there, gobbling up 2 or 3, 4 at-bats, whatever that may be? Or is it just going to kind of be how his body feels over the course of spring training?
Well, I think some of it's going to be, you know, how his body feels most importantly, and we'll try to get him on the, you know, on the field as much as possible, but we're going to have to create some at-bats for him. So there will be some DH days because, you know, if he plays the field, it may be two ABs like today, but if we do a DH day, we may be able to throw in 4. I think the one thing that Donnie's done a really good job of early in camp and is with our live BPs. O'Neill's been involved in all of them. Like yesterday, he had Chapman and Martin Perez. You know, over at Pirate City, he got in all of them. So we're trying to just artificially create as much as we can because, you know, he missed an entire year.
Shelty, how about that chance he had once again, a great moment for a manager to tell his pitcher, Mitch Keller, the other day that he's going to start again, as Sawinski will track that one down. That's so much fun for you. You pulled out that bottle of champagne. I think he suspected it this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing that happened that day is we were going to tell him he was the opening day starter for the 2nd year in a row, and then the night before we were able to get the extension done. So there was some footage that was cut out of that because we were talking about the extension because we'd agreed to it the night before, just how proud, you know, we were. And then I think once the champagne came out, he kind of knew. So there was a lot of things that happened in the span of, you know, 30 to 45 seconds right there that were really, really cool to see.
Can you stick around for another half inning with us?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
I'll be here.
Thank you. We'll talk to Derek Shelton and more about Mitch Keller when we come back.
You won't find confidence on any list of SUV features, but one brand has it in spades, backed with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease the new 2024 Sportage LX for $259 a month.
When you're as storied as we are, it's easy to look back, right? You know, statues, waving pennants, 21. Nah, not this year. It's 2024, and this is Pirates Baseball. We've got the best ballpark on the planet. Just look at this place. Yep, raise it. And yeah, outside we've got as much history as anybody. But inside, we've got an all-star outfielder, a gold glover, a renegade closer, a living legend, and this guy, who, we aren't even sure he's human. Oh, and don't blink, because the game's fast now. We're talking an action-packed, base-stealing, pitch every 15 seconds highlight reel. So gather your family, rally your crew, and hop on the ship. The Clemente Bridge is open, the pierogies are hot, the fireworks are blasting off, the selfies are blowing up, and your Pirates are looking to raise it all summer long. Say it loud, Pittsburgh. Let's go, boys!
Dependability, reliability, confidence, everything you want in a sedan. Backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease the new 2024 Forte LXS for $209 a month.
Well, bottom half of the 5th inning here in Bradenton, Florida. Jack Sawinski will lead off against new pitcher lefty Tucker Davidson. On the headset with us down in the dugout is Pirates manager Derek Shelton. And just before that last out, Shelton, we were talking about Mitch Keller and the chance to give him another bottle of champagne. He will start the opener in Miami when the season begins. But you were, of course, at that press conference on Friday here at LECOM, along with a lot of other coaches and personnel and players. And I just wonder what I didn't look at you. I was there, but I was watching Mitch as he looked out toward you and Oscar Marine. And as he looked at you, he said how important it was that you guys, you and Oscar, never gave up on him. And then he started to choke up and he couldn't even finish his sentence. And I wonder what you were thinking as you watched and heard that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, I was a little emotional, too. And you know, I tell Mitch all the time, I feel like he's one of my kids with everything that we've been through together and the ups and the downs, and see him battle and then see the offseason he had last year and the work that he put in with Oscar and our pitching group. And, you know, with, excuse me, there had been some low days and some tough days, and to have conversations, you know, sometimes supportive and then sometimes with a little bit of, you know, kick in the butt of where we need to go, but all with, you know, the feeling of how much we care about the person and the player, but more so the person. So the fact that that happened and he was able to express that, I think it's, you know, one of the reasons we all do what we do.
Skipper, you know, every spring training that players go through, you come into camp and a lot of times a manager will have some sort of mantra or some sort of theme that they want to express to the players and from day one and push as spring training as the season comes around. Is there anything in particular that really struck you from last year rolling into this 2024 spring training and season that you wanted to really push upon your players?
Yeah, I think the word we're using a lot is intent. The intent of what we're doing on a daily basis, the intent of how we're going about, you know, how we practice, how we play, how we prepare, whether it's, you know, pregame prep for pitchers or postgame recovery for position players that play every day, but just the overall intent of how we're going about our business, and then just basically controlling, you know, what we're capable of, and that's a responsibility that we have. So that's been, you know, a very common theme that we've used throughout the first part of camp and you know, kind of carrying off last year.
Shelty, you have talked about the kind of the growing pains. You and Ben Cherington taking over this club now, coming into the 5th season, and with that intent, the intent to get better and, of course, to win more games. We're hearing that a lot, not only from you guys, but the players themselves. Here's a guy, and Rowdy Tellez said recently, you know, I'm here, yet I'm going to have fun and personally want to put up a good year, but I think this team can win.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that was in our division and you know, over the last couple of years with the Brewers, and has seen that, and I think he saw the good young core that we've started to build here, and that is one of the most important things, is like we have to continue to progress. And last year we made a step in that progression, and this year we need to continue to you know, take another step forward.
Here is Ali Sanchez. Now he and Grandal catching today. Henry Davis yesterday. What did you think of Henry Davis down in Fort Myers?
I thought he did a nice job. You know, first time being back there, knocked the rust off a little bit. Was very happy with, you know, how he called the game. I thought he did a nice job receiving the baseball, but overall, you know, pleased with the first outing, and we just need to get him reps. We need to get him back there.
And that's pretty much what it's going to be all about, isn't it, this spring?
Yes, it's getting him reps. I mean, you know, he caught, I think he caught 2 live BPs today. It's just getting him back there and getting him, you know, used to catching again. He prepared all winter. He was down at Pirate City. He was working with Mike Rebello, you know, and I think we've seen growth, and that's really important.
We talked a little bit yesterday on the radio side and then today about you know, the obvious situation at second base and the 3 or 4 or 5 guys, whatever you want to call it. Is there anything that you're pushing on some of these guys? We're going to see that group of 4 guys mainly be at second base. You're going to have, you know, guys bounce around a little bit more, of course, especially in the early going. How are you going about, you know, expressing these guys like this is an opportunity for you, you know, go ahead, go out and see what you can do?
Yeah, well, I think the first part of that Neil, is we have to make sure that we get them at bats. So you're going to see them in different positions. You know, I mean, you're going to see, Triolo played third yesterday. Peggy's playing second today. You're going to see Bay play the outfield. You'll see Nick Gonzalez play different positions. They're all in competition at second base, but we're not going to be able to, facilitate every day at bats at second base when you have 4 or 5 guys that are in a competition. And then I think the other thing that's important is the fact that they all have versatility and they can all play other positions. So, one of them could win the job coming out of camp, and, there could be other guys on the team, fulfilling another role. So we have to make sure that we keep that versatility. That's really important. And the most important thing is going to be to just get them reps and at bats.
Shelty, how hard is it for a manager? Do you like this part of spring and your job? I mean, think about all that you all have to do. You just said about getting certain amount of at-bats, watching the pitching staff, trying to decide what the roster looks like. It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, it is, and I'm going to say 2 things. I'm very fortunate. Brian Stroh, our AGM, handles the roster with Ben, so that's very helpful for me. And then the biggest part of running spring training is not the manager, it's the bench coach. And they've done that role in Minnesota. It's thankless. Donnie spends a ton of time every day. He's got to coordinate everybody. He does an unbelievable job of it. I mean, Neil will tell you, he's probably one of the most conscientious and thoughtful people that you could ever want to be around. And because of that, he makes spring training a whole heck of a lot easier for me, because he's running the day-to-day. Like, 80% of the time until we get into games, Donnie's telling me what to do. He's telling me what my day looks like. And when you have someone that is as proficient as he is at it, it makes everything a lot easier.
Still, I know how important communication is for you, Shelty. Pirate fans who watched Jim Leland do this over his years, and now the Hall of Famer, how you would, and still do, you go around, you try and touch base with each player to stay to communicate. They were seeing Donnie Kelly now looking over the lineup card, but that's so important for you.
Yeah, it's very important, and because of the scheduling portion that Donnie's able to do, that allows me to have those touch points with players and be able to get and have one-on-one conversations, with them. And I think, as Neil pointed out early in the spring, that's so vital because of the fact that, we have new guys in camp and they're getting to know me. I'm getting to know them. They're learning roles. We have younger players that, it's their responsibility to continue to get better. So it's having those conversations of what the growth is going to be and how we're going to prepare. And that's a major part of the first, 10 to 15 days in camp for me, is just making sure that these guys get a pretty good feel of who I am and what we're about.
Leo Vera-Peguero at the plate, a guy that you've seen grow in this organization. He made a spectacular play, Shelty, at second base. He's got all the tools, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And he's growing. He's growing up kind of right in front of us. We saw it last year. The thing I really liked about the play is it's the first spring training game, and it's a heck of a play, but the emotion he shows, he's fired up. That's really cool to see. And Peggy did a good job for us last year. He came from all the way from Altoona to the big leagues, and he's put himself right in the competition now.
Shelty, thanks so much.
All right, guys. Have a good day. See ya.
Pirates manager Derek Shelton joining us. We'll continue from Bradenton, heading to the 6th inning. 0-0.
Hayward, you look at that. Cohen's got chewy ice and Turner's on tap.
Hayward, you look at this. Fried chicken made from scratch.
Hayward, you look at these. They're made here.
Hayward, you look at this pepperoni roll.
Hayward, you look at those pizzas.
Hayward, you look at this.
Hayward, you look at my Club Cohen savings. Hayward, you mind paying?
Hayward, you look at the time.
Cohen, your fulfilling station.
Okay, let's go. Top row.
E-Y-E-C-A-R-E.
Good. Next row.
A-M America? iCareAmerica.org?
Yes. I Care America helps seniors who haven't had a medical eye exam in 3 or more years. They also help those with an increased risk for glaucoma, and the appointment is often free or at no out-of-pocket cost. It's easy to see if you qualify. Go to EYECareAmerica.org.
This season, AT&T Sportsnet is now Sportsnet Pittsburgh, the newly branded regional home of your Pittsburgh Penguins. Local game coverage all season long with expanded pre- and post-game shows for every game. Watch seamlessly on your favorite cable, satellite, or streaming provider. It's a new season and a new look on the same channel. Sportsnet Pittsburgh, the home of your Pittsburgh Penguins.
Heading toward the dugout. Day over for Brian Reynolds. That bag over his shoulder in the middle. He's talking there with Key Brian Hayes. The starters are out of there for the most part. We'll get to some of the changes, including a new pitcher for the Pirates. Connor Sadzek is a non-roster invitee. The Pirates signed him as a minor league free agent first week of December. Made one appearance in the major leagues last year with the Seattle Mariners. Former Cleveland draft pick.
And there you see the numbers for Sadzik.
Oh, yeah. It's early,
Number
man.
46 in your scorebook.
Better save it.
Number 1 in your hearts.
Yep.
Make a play, Anthony. Come on, man.
Can going to get an at bat. And Shelty was talking about your brother-in-law, Don Kelly, handling spring training and makes it easier for him. There's a chopper toward third. Could we get a Donnie Kelly type person in the booth maybe that could give us all the changes?
Guess we need a direct,
Wouldn't that be neat?
We need a direct line to him an inning before, so we're not searching stuff up here. But
text your brother-in-law and say, give me the changes, will you?
It is true, though. I mean, I drove back from the game, as you see a nice little play at third. And
Jack Brannigan, by the way.
He was essentially, you know, in an hour-and-a-half drive from Fort Myers to Bradenton. He was essentially on his phone the entire time, scheduling something for today, not for the next couple of days. This ball just sneaks past.
Termarr Johnson. Johnson, one of the top prospects in baseball. Now at second base. Saw him get a couple of at-bats yesterday against the Twins down in Fort Myers. Jordan Westberg. This is Connor Sadzek. Mitch Keller started, went a couple of innings, scoreless, one hit in his spring debut. Dowry Moreta will be part of that strong bullpen. Now we're seeing some non-roster invitees. Ryder Ryan, Brent Honeywell. Honeywell 1, 2, 3, 5th. He looked impressive, by the way, his first outing. Honeywell. But as we said on the radio side yesterday, Neil, and we say it every spring, radio and TV, your best bet to make a club is to be on the 40-man roster. You can still make the team as a non-roster invitee, but it's more difficult. This breaking ball doesn't break.
Yeah, that's true, and it's those words are never more true for a reliever and also, you know, an extra, a fourth, fifth outfielder, or, you know, an extra infielder, to where a lot of times those type of guys may come into camp and say, hey, you're not necessarily on the 40-man right now, but we're going to give you a really good opportunity to make this club as the 24th, 25th guy, 26th guy, I'm sorry. And so you kind of know that, and you know at the very end of spring training there's a chance that you might be popped on the roster and somebody might be taken off. But you're right, these 40-man guys for the most part are going to be given the bulk of the opportunity and going to take precedence, especially early middle part of spring training.
Fly ball to right, over and out of play. Jace Bowen gives chase. Roberto Celestino's in center now with Matt Gorski in left. We saw Jack Brannigan make the play at third base to start the inning through the new first baseman, Joe Perez. Sergio Alcantara is at short, and Termarr Johnson at second. Jorge Mateo likely to get his last at bat for the Orioles here. There's Jace Bowen. Jace Bowen, 23 homers, 95 RBIs last year in the minor leagues for the Pirates. Early on in spring training, first a couple of weeks or so, when the regulars need a couple of at-bats, maybe 3 ABs, then the rest of the game's usually filled with not only non-roster invitees, but even minor leaguers. Just gets a piece. So even though we won't see Jace Bowen in the big leagues this year, or for that matter, Tamar Johnson, it's our chance to get a real good look at him in spring training. And Connor Sedzek strikes out Mateo. Moving along to the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-0.
For 75 years, Eaton Park's been serving incredible, crispy, huge fish sandwiches.
We at NSS Life have been providing a smarter, more affordable way to deliver financial security for families across America for a long time. We even offer charitable, social, and educational opportunities, and our annuities ensure that your money is safe and grows every single day. It's no wonder why NSS Life is one of the largest fraternal life insurance companies in the country.
NSS Life, where family matters.
Prescriptions, co-pays, lab tests. Even with insurance, healthcare can cost thousands every year. But not for me, because I'm enrolled in VA healthcare. My service was then. My benefits are now. Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Here we go is right. What a save!
Penguins, Canucks. Coverage begins Tuesday at 9 on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Each month on Inside Penguins Hockey, we help you get to know the players better by asking the tough questions.
You're putting me on the spot here. Okay, next question.
Catch a new episode of Inside Penguins Hockey, presented by UPMC, every month on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Back in sunny Bradenton, Florida, and take a look at this play. Liover Peguero, the diving catch. Defensively, the hat comes off. I have the man himself sitting beside me to talk about that moment. Peggy, making that highlight reel type of play in the first game of spring training. How important is it for you to start building that resume early?
I mean, it's amazing. You know, it feels great to be able to do those things out here. You know, we've been putting in a lot of work, so seeing the results, it just makes me feel a lot better.
What was your reaction when you made that play? Because I know what everybody else in here felt.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had no chance at first, but you know, sometimes you just got to trust that a little bit more. And thank goodness I got there. Like I said, I thought I had no chance, but we made it, so it was great. And I got something to mention about O'Neill. When I caught the ball, he said something crazy about, just throw it, bro. And I thought it was hilarious. That's why I was like looking at him the whole time, but it was great.
Does he typically not say much on the field?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was like straight faces. He said something to me. Most of the times he's just quiet, but I got really surprised, and it was amazing.
Well, speaking of a guy like O'Neill Cruz, how good did it feel to look to your right and see him back on the field? Yeah,
I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, he's one of a kind. You know, you don't see a guy like him very often, and you know, it feels amazing to be next to him, and hopefully we'll last forever together.
Well, it was really interesting. I was standing in the dugout, and one of the guys walks over, looks at O'Neill's bat, and goes, huh, he's a large guy. I thought it would be a little bit bigger. Did you react that way, too?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't say something like that next to him? I mean, he's a blessed guy, you know, and he's just trying some new stuff. You know, as a baseball player, you just got to go one step forward.
Well, another guy that we saw batting right now, Nick Gonzalez. He's your best friend, but he's also a competitor. We had talked about your relationship earlier, but to just vocalize what that really is like to our fan base, how close are you two?
Yeah, I mean, most of the people don't know, but we've been competing since the first day we met back in the alternate side in 2020. We've just been competing. I mean, most of the times we're just playing games around about who can hit the chest the most, who can make better plays and stuff like that. You know, know, I think it's just a beautiful friendship that I got with him. It's really special. I mean, I feel like none of us see us as oh, I gotta beat you, you gotta beat me. Like, none of that. We're just competing out there and giving everything we got, and you know, it's a pretty special thing.
Have you guys been keeping score of those multiple competitions that you're having? Are you winning?
I can't say that, you know, that's personal stuff between me and him, but most of the times we're just fighting in a good way. You know, we're just trying to get better every day, and you know, we just give each other feedbacks and stuff like that, and like I said, we're just trying to get better.
Is the ultimate testament to love for you sharing your French fries with somebody? Because I know that's how your relationship started.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm just a giveaway guy. I'm always just trying to be nice to the people around me. You know, that's the way I was raised, and you know, back home. And I thank God, and also my mom for it. And you know, I just like making people happy and then be a nice person.
Well, he deserves some French fries. Check out this double he just had. Wind aided a bit, but still, I'm sure it felt good coming off of his bat. What do you want to say about your friend? Look at him here rounding those bases.
I mean, as you can tell, that swing right there, he didn't mean to do that. That's how great he is, and he's still getting a double. So it's nothing that surprised me. He's just great.
Peggy, you're somebody who always just brings so much energy to the clubhouse. What can Pirates fans expect to see from you this season?
I mean, we've been growing. We've been getting better every day. You know, we want to bring that championship to the city. I mean, we just been working really hard, and all I want to say is I love you guys and thank you for the support. You guys are always there, and I appreciate that. I guess we all do, you know, but it's a privilege to be having some people like them.
Well, very well said. Thank you so much for joining me, Peggy. I appreciate it. Best of luck moving forward. Greg, pretty cool that he got to watch Nick Gonzalez make a big play in his debut here.
Analysis two there, by the way, Hannah, on the part of Leover Piguero, this buddy. Dropping that double off the glove. And the second baseman Burns, wholesale changes for Baltimore. Now here's Termarr Johnson. Talked about Johnson being one of the top prospects in all of Major League Baseball, top second base prospect. See what he did last year in the Pirates minor league. Started the year hurt right out of spring training. So a little bit slow out of the gate, but then recovered and put up a solid year. A lot of his games played here in Bradenton. Couldn't hold his swing there against Luis Gonzalez, so it's a strikeout. First out with Nick Gonzalez getting that double at second base, one away. Sergio Alcantara, the shortstop. Hitting in the 2 spot of the order. Brian Reynolds was 0 for 2, hit a ball to the wall in left field in his final at bat. O'Neill Cruz, a couple of ABs, a ground out, and then a clock violation. He was not set and ready with 8 seconds left on that clock. He had 2 strikes on him, so Chad Fairchild, by the book, rung him up. So Alcantara taking over at shortstop. Jack Brannigan on deck. Gonzalez, the 5th pitcher for Baltimore. Pirates have used 5. And a hard shot, a nice play. Burns quickly to his feet to get the second out. We've seen some fine defense here.
Yeah, we sure have. This is a terrific play right here. And the second baseman Burns got to hold the runner at second with 1 out, just a little bit closer, and kind of somewhat no man's land at times. If you're not in double play depth, sometimes you can find yourself in some awkward spots, and that a one hopper that he's able to corral.
Jack Brannigan. Brannigan got a couple of at-bats yesterday down at Fort Myers. A couple of strikes on him. 23-year-old from Chicago, was a third-round pick of the Pirates a couple of years ago. Played 49 games right here in Bradenton with the Marauders of the Florida State League. Now to play. Finished his year in high A ball, Greensboro, where he hit .299. Combined to hit 19 home runs in the minor leagues last year for the Pirates, with 54 runs batted in. Jack Brannigan out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, a handful of these guys have pretty beefy numbers from the minor leagues. Last year, Brannigan, one of them, in less than 100 games played, shows what he has in the tank. Almost 20 home runs in just under 90 games. That's pretty uncommon.
Did he hold? He did. General Manager Ben Cherington joins us next in the top of the 7th. Plays off again, 3-2. That's cracked to left field. Brannigan jumped on that, and a nice play to run it down. Enrique Granfield, the left fielder. That wind didn't help Brannigan at all. We'll talk to Ben Cherington next.
You won't find confidence on any list of SUV features, but one brand has it in spades, backed with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease the new 2024 Sportage LX for $259 a month.
In Pittsburgh, Confluence is where it all comes together. Depth and breadth. Our expansive financial planning resources support your unique life and legacy. Teamwork in everything we do. It's part of our DNA. And connection. At the heart of our wealth management philosophy is the well-being of our clients. 100% from here. One of Pittsburgh's fastest growing companies. Confluence Financial Partners.
This is Quickfill country. A land of majestic landscapes, natural wonders, and pristine waterways. All waiting to be explored. And with the Quickfill mobile app, adventure is right at your fingertips. Download the free mobile app and start fueling your discovery. Click the compass to find local points of interest and the best route to get you there. Your next journey is less than a tank of gas away. Quickfill, fueling discovery.
Dependability, reliability, confidence, everything you want in a sedan. Backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease the new 2024 Forte LXS for $209 a month.
Still scoreless here in Bradenton in the top of the 7th. Check out all the fans lined up to see their favorite players here. And all of these fans are going to feel a little bit more at home now in Bradenton, as Pirate City felt more like home this week as the Manatee Board of County Commissioners here in Bradenton, Florida unanimously proclaimed that the Manatee County-owned section of 27th Street East was officially named Roberto Clemente Memorial Way. This past Wednesday, the Clemente family was able to make the trip down to see the unveiling of the new road sign and continue to celebrate and see their father's legacy transcend the baseball field. Truly is an incredible moment to witness Roberto Clemente's legacy continue on, Craig.
Absolutely, Hannah. And a long time coming to have that named Roberto Clemente Way. As this ball is fouled off, Cam Aldred is the new Pirates pitcher. The batter is Kobe Mayo, a top Orioles prospect. And Ben Cherington will be with us in the bottom half of this 7th inning, moving along here in Bradenton. 22-year-old Kobe Mayo at the plate against the left-hander in the Pirate system, Cam Aldred. He is pitcher number 6 for the Pirates today. We've got all the changes now for the Pirates. 6,469 on hand here at this historic ballpark. Built in 1923. Renamed Lecom in 2017. It's undergone a lot of renovations, none bigger than that $10 million, 19,000 square foot boardwalk that spans the outfield and has really made this one of the treasures of spring training in Florida and Arizona. And I've talked about all the fans that are here from all over, and a lot of kids, of course, and adults here. The Buckaroos Kids Club, by the way, is presented by Chick-fil-A. Provides member-only benefits for kids 14 and younger all season long. Free and paid membership options available. Get free and buy one, get one Pirates tickets, Chick-fil-A coupons, Pirates gear, and more. Sign up now at pirates.com/Buckaroos, the Buckaroos Kids Club. We were talking about Chick-fil-A earlier. Here is Tyler Nevin, his first at bat.
Nevin, the son of Phil Nevin, last year's Angels skipper.
This year with Ron Washington getting back.
That's right.
Those Angels be without Shohei Ohtani. Signed that monster deal with the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to open up this regular season against the Padres in South Korea, March 20th and 21st. Fly ball shallow left center. That's going to be no man's land. A base hit for Tyler Nevin.
That was the old spinner off the end of the bat. It drops right into no man's land, as you said, Greg. Orioles got a little rally going here. Let's see if Cam Aldred can get himself a ground ball, a double play right here.
Daniel Johnson, his first at bat. Ali Sanchez, the Pirates catcher, out now to talk with Cam Aldred. Two on and no one out. Pirates pitching coach Oscar Marine, a busy time for all coaches. Yeah, we've had people over the years ask why baseball spring training is so long. This is the second of 32 games if you include that Futures Stars game on March the 14th. But mainly it's for the pitchers to get built up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more so for the starting pitchers even. And you know, when you talk about the setup, at least going into day one of spring training, not only do you have to get your potential 5 or 6 starters, whatever that may be, fighting for spots in the starting rotation, but you got AAA guys. You probably got 3 or 4 of your potential starting pitchers in AAA too. And as Shelty mentioned, there's always opportunity for position players and pitchers to get basically scrimmage games on backfields during at the same time as games are going on, or sometimes you'll see split squad games and things like that. But make no mistake, they want guys to play You see a good little slider right here from Cam Aldred. They want guys to play in these environments with fans in the stands, and you know, your juices get going a little bit more. I mean, that's the most important thing in spring training, is getting your work, but also having quality type of work if you're a starter or a reliever or a position player.
Here's Enrique Bradfield. Well, off the end of the bat can be a squibber. Not an easy play, and he can fly, and the ball's thrown past first, and now a play at the plate perhaps. No, the Orioles will score. That had trouble all over it, and it left the bat. Thrown past Joe Perez.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do. Watch where this ball lands. You got both middle infielders converging on it. You take it, I'll take it. Okay, I got it. And then all of a sudden you have to recognize as an infielder, okay, who's running right here? Do I have a chance of making this play? And it seemed to me like it was probably, even the throw was on line, not going to be in time. So as an infielder, you just try to make a throw on line so that more damage doesn't happen. And unfortunately, that wasn't the instance right there.
It was the shortstop, Sergio Alcantara. Goes as a hit and an error. And now Maverick Handley, the catcher, his first at bat today. So Enrique Bradfield hit that squibber. Runner goes from first. The throw picked by Tamar Johnson. The Alex Sanchez throw in the grass. Stolen base. Oh, he can really fly, Bradfield.
Yeah, probably not even a chance. If he's makes an on-point throw, it's probably going to have to be right on the bag, essentially in the dirt too. Infield's going to be drawn in right here with one out in the top of the seventh. See if a ground ball can cut down the runner from third trying to score.
Aldred, who went back into the starting rotation last year at AAA Indianapolis. He made his big league debut with the Pirates a couple of years ago, made one major league appearance. And come up for the most part in the minor league system as a reliever. Drafted out of the University of Cincinnati. Pirates had him in the bullpen. He gets a strikeout.
Nice little sweeping slider right there. Takes some of the pressure off the Pirates defense. Now with 2 outs here in the 7th.
There's the strikeout. Now John Rhodes gets his first AB. The Pirates and the Orioles have now all had their starters leave the game. Aldred last year made 31 appearances for AAA Indianapolis with the Indians. 17 of those were starts. 5.20 ERA. And a 2-0 count on John Rhodes. Keller started for Pittsburgh. Mitch Keller. His first start since signing that contract extension on Friday, and looked good. Couple of scoreless. Couple of strikeouts. Dowry Moreta, though he walked a man, struck out the last 2. And now the rest of this game filled with some prospects, minor leaguers, some non-roster invites. misses. Tomorrow, we mentioned the Pirates are going to be in Dunedin, Florida. Near Clearwater, take on the Blue Jays, and Roansy Contreras will start. You ask Neil some people around camp, give us an idea who you've been impressed with, and so early. This is even before game started, but more than one person has said, fingers are crossed, but we like what Roansy Contreras is looking like right now.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Obviously, to have him have a bounce-back season would be integral for our pitching staff. We got to look yesterday at Jared Jones. That was the first time I'd gotten to see him throw the ball, and that was really, really impressive. So, look for Roansy to bounce back.
It'll be fun to watch here via the Rogers Sportsnet feed. That'll be on tomorrow, and we'll chat with Ben Cherington next.
Arby's crispy fish sandwiches still don't fit on the bun. Arby's sincerely apologizes for continuing to make big old sandwiches. Arby's, we have the meat.
I wanted to do something where I could always have a job and do what I like.
Triangle Tech graduates are always the best prepared for the field.
We took our certification test there, so the education was perfect.
The trades are wide open.
No one trains you like Triangle Tech.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
I know a fisherman, his name is Charlie Moore. He's the greatest fisherman that I ever saw. He got a fishing show, but it's so much more. And if you fish against him, it's like going to war. From the pond to the stream, to the river, to the lake, there's never been a catch that he could not make. Can you rock it like this? Can you rock it like that? Get with the mad fish, 'cause mad fish is where it's at. Charlie Moore is the mad fisherman. Charlie Moore is the mad fisherman.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Orioles up 1-0. Our first game here in Bradenton. The 2024 Grapefruit League schedule as promised. We're joined in the booth by the Pirates general manager, Ben Cherington. Ben, it's always a busy time every spring around every camp, but my gosh, you guys have been busy, starting with the announcement on Friday. That was awfully fun, wasn't it?
Well, that was a good reason to be busy. Yeah. That was exciting. So happy for Mitch. So cool, in those moments to see his family and people around him that have meant so much to him and been, as you know, with him every step of the way through all the ups and downs throughout the years. To see them be able to enjoy that moment with him, very cool. And obviously great news for the Pirates. He's a huge part of our team and what we're building, and thrilled that he's going to be a Pirate for a long time.
Matt Gorski at the plate. I love what you talked afterward with the members of the media. Ben, I think you quoted somebody, maybe Pat Gillick, if I'm not mistaken, about the trust.
Yeah, I just steal that from someone else, and we all do that, of course.
No, we do too, but it's a big deal in broadcasting.
But yeah, someone asked him that one time, and of course he had been so successful and built so many great teams, and what's your secret? And he said, no, it's just you just find players you trust. Of course, that's a simple answer, easier to say than do, but Mitch is someone we trust, and when you're around someone like that and you know how reliable they are on and off the field, how much he's gonna just continue to commit and dedicate to finding ways to get better every day, it makes us feel really good about extending someone like that.
Ben, do you feel strongly about, when you're kind of looking at what you guys have done over the last couple of years, nice little backside base hit from Celestino, do you feel strongly about, when you're looking at your roster and you're looking at your quote-unquote core, do you spend a good amount of time in the offseason and your day-to-day figuring out, well, this position player or this pitcher or this guy, this is the guys we want to, the 3 or 4 players that we really want to build around over the course of a certain amount of time?
Yeah, and of course, you don't have to have an extension with a guy to feel that way, right? Like, certainly a lot of guys here we really like a lot. We know we're going to be believe are going to be really big parts of the team. And it's okay, you know, going year to year in some cases. It's not always going to work out to do an extension, but when we can find opportunities to do that, pick our spots, it is, we believe, helpful part of the team building. You know, just means something. That's a good break. It means something to us. It means something to when players want to make that commitment to Pittsburgh. You know, it's, of course, it's important to have them on the field and their talent on the field to help us win games, but there is something about a player saying, you know, this is where I want to be. I want to be in this place when we're good and when we're winning, and that means something. And of course, the other end of it is the stability as you go year to year. And of course, we know there's going to be changes to the roster year to year. It's just the nature of the game. But to be able to count on a handful of guys to offer some of that cultural stability year to year, where you're not trying to learn from scratch new everything, you know, everybody all at once. I think that's maybe a sneaky part of good teams too. Of course, again, there's always going to be some changes. It's just the nature of it. But having some continuity in that core group, we think is an important part of it too.
Ali Sanchez after that stolen base by Celestino, 2 down. Ben, what do you think of this 2024 club? It's just starting out spring training, but do you like the makeup of it so far compared to, say, like last year's team or the previous few that we've had here? It's been
a real fun group to be around already. You know, early in camp, the work ethic, the energy, the vibe has been really good, really positive. You know, one of the things we like about this group the most, I would say a couple things in particular that we like the most, is it's got both. We've got a group of young players who are all 12 months older than they were a year ago. You know, it sounds simple, but that's another year into development, another year to have figured out some stuff, another year to have overcome some adversity in some cases, another year of maturity into their careers. And it just means that entire group is going to be a little bit better, a little bit more mature, a little bit more professional, a little bit more responsible and reliable than they may have been 12 months ago. And I think as if you look across the group, there's a lot of guys who fit in that category, guys who either, you know, maybe a little bit more established, not quite established, still knocking on the door. And that group of players, if you're in your, you know, early to mid 20s, it means usually the best days are ahead of you. And so there's a lot to look forward to there. But at the same time, combined with that, we think we've got some guys with a little bit of experience who have something to prove, you know, are coming in here with, you know, a bit of a chip on the shoulder and something to prove. And so that combination of experience with something to prove and some young guys who best days are ahead, that's exciting. We like the combination. And of course, we just got to keep the pedal down every day, find ways to get better every day, whether that's something we're doing on the field, something we're doing off the field to try to make the roster stronger. It can't stop. And but we're excited about the future, and you know, really believe in the group we have here. And of course, we'll keep looking if there are ways to make it even stronger.
When you acquire a guy, do you think of that? Is that part of the process of, yeah, this guy might have a chip on his shoulder, let's get him in here, along with the other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the assessment. You know, there's lots of things that go into it, but there is something to, you know, there is something to playing for something and having something to prove, and you know, wanting to do that. And we think we have a healthy amount of guys in that clubhouse who have that attribute coming into this season.
You know, we've talked a lot yesterday, and we spoke to Shelty during the game just in general about, you know, some semi-storylines and things like that. Obviously, Henry Davis gets a chance to catch yesterday, and, you know, we have a little bit of a second base battle going on, I would assume, for the most part. Not to ask you to get long-winded, but can you give us just your thoughts on just what you're seeing and the opportunity that's maybe in front of the, call it, 4 guys at second base, and, you know, getting Henry a lot of reps this spring leading into the season?
Yeah, I know at the catching spot, obviously, you know, Grandal's going to be on the team, assuming he's healthy, and we've got, we think, a good, healthy competition for that second spot to start the season with Henry and Jason DeLay, who obviously earned a ton of trust last year and we're confident in, and Ali Sanchez, who's getting in the game here today, who is a really good defensive catcher who's put up good offensive numbers in AAA. So between the 3 of those, we like that competition for that second spot. Of course, we also know, and we all know that injuries can happen at that position, so being deep is important. And then I don't know if we're doing an inning break here or not, but I can keep going.
You mind staying?
Of course, yeah. I'll stick around.
Awesome. We'll do that with Ben Cherington. Talk more about the 2024 Pirates and the organization. 1-0 Baltimore.
The #1 killer of women is heart disease. The integration of women's health with cardiovascular care brings a perspective that is not commonly brought to the forefront. The lived experience of women is different, and we should celebrate it, but also choose care specific to women.
This spring is the perfect time to get away with a great deal on your favorite Hyundai model. All backed by America's best warranty, plus 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease a Tucson for $239 a month or get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end 2/29.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey on Sportsnet is presented by Baseball Card Castle. With over 20 million cards in stock and thousands of authentic autographed items, we are your premier sports card and memorabilia destination. Located on Route 19 in Cranberry Township, where our customer is king.
Every week, I sit down with Penguins General Manager Kyle Dubas or head coach Mike Sullivan on Penguins Game Plan. Get an inside look at the team from the guys who know them the best. Catch Penguins Game Plan every week on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
It is 1-0 Baltimore. We're just starting spring training 2024. And we're with the Pirates general manager, Ben Cherington. Isaac Mattson is the new pitcher. And Ben, I was just thinking when you were watching, I know how tough it is for anybody, GMs, managers, coaches, to try and talk to us while you're trying to evaluate and watch these games. But you, of course, were watching Celestino, Roberto Celestino, get that base hit the other way and then steal second. Is your mind constantly going now? You putting that in the file?
Well, the best we can. All our eyes are only so good. But I think most of all, it's actually when we get out here and get to watch the games, that's a fun part of the job. It's in some extent that's the reason we all do it, right? To watch the game. So in some ways during the games it's the fun part of the day, and you allow yourself to enjoy it a little bit and observe. And of course, while we're doing that, there's things that we want to see. It's often, I'm not good enough sometimes to look too far past the batter-pitcher matchup. I know some veteran scouts who see every single thing that's happening on the field at all times. I'm not that good, but usually I kind of just narrow in on the pitcher and the hitter. And with pitching, we're looking for pitch shape and execution and strikes more than anything. As I said that, he walked. Of
course,
of course, happened. But yeah, with a guy like Celestino, who's here because we, as has been talked about, we're looking for that additional center field defender component on the team. Jack Sawinski's done a great job developing as a player. We're confident in him playing out there, but looking for another, strong center field defender on the team. Celestino's has that ability, can play center field, and it's a question of can he handle the bat well enough and do things with the at-bat to help the team. And so it's not, he doesn't have to be more than what he is, but an at-bat like that where, as Neil said, he took a ball, went the other way, is a kind of a simple thing, but got us hit, advanced to base, put us in a position to score a run. Those are little things that add up during a spring training competition.
I think something, at least from my personal opinion, when you guys acquired Olivares from the Royals, when you really dig in, obviously a lot of Pirate fans or people weren't quite familiar with this player. I thought that was a pretty interesting addition, and a guy that when you watch him and you actually dig in through the numbers, he's got a pretty interesting skill set. Can you speak on just what you saw with him, trying to acquire him or a player of that type?
Yeah, we've been following Olivares for a while, and we really like the bat. We think there's a hitter in there. We've seen pretty steady progress in his offensive game over the course of 4 or 5 years. He's got some pop. He makes contact. He can use the whole field. You know, if you look at what he did last year in Kansas City, which, you know, as both of you know, is a tough hitter's park, a big yard. Put up some good power numbers there. He's a guy who's played all over the outfield. He's got good defensive skills. We're anxious to get him into our environment, get him working with Tarek Brock, and you know, hopefully refine some aspects of his defensive game. He's a great kid, good teammate. You know, kind of in that early part of his prime years, and sometimes guys like that, you know, they have a good run in the big leagues, and so he's a guy we're excited to have here. He's going to be right in the middle of that competition for playing time in the outfield.
Is there a way to tell, Ben, what competition is out there? You know, we all, Neil and I talked about this. We talk about it all the time. I don't know if it drives you crazy, but we are amateur GMs at this time, so we all have our list of 26 guys. We were trying to guess, you know, to be right. Who are the Pirates going to bring with them, even though it changes? But how many positions do you think are available?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even know exactly, but we know some of the areas generally. We talked about catcher. Neil mentioned second base. You know, second base certainly, and then just sort of generally middle infield. Obviously, Cruzy's going to get an opportunity. You know, he's going to get runway at shortstop, and we're so excited to have him back at short, but we need someone else who can play short on the team too. So middle infield, but particularly second base. And that is, you know, I think second base is one of those spots where I referenced the excitement about young players who are 12 months ahead of where they were last year. And, you know, if they're, you know, I think Neil mentioned 4, that's probably about right. Maybe someone else sneaks into that. But you think about who those players are: Triolo, Bay, Gonzalez, Peguero, and again, maybe someone else pushes into that mix. You know, if you look at just what they did last year, you could say, okay, well, no one's certainly fully proven yet as a primary major league second baseman, and that's fair to say. On the other hand, all 4 of those guys are now, you know, closer into their primes, you know, a year ahead of where they were last year. Have all had some experience now at the major league level to, you know, get through some of the transition and adversity and learn different aspects of the game. So I can't tell you who's going to have, you know, who's going to get the most at-bats at second base. The truth is we don't know. But out of that, if you have that many talented young players fighting for it, we think it gives us a pretty good chance that one of those or 2 of those guys are going to step up and good foul. And that's just, you know, that's exciting for us. So there's certainly something to be learned there. And we had good conversations with not just those 4 players, but a lot of players who are out here that spring training, think about competition, and yes, there's an aspect of that in spring training, but it's not going to stop just because we get to opening day. We're going to have 13 position players go to Miami, but the competition continues. You know, like the roles and the opportunity will have to continue to be earned. Of course, you know, into the season, we're blessed now that we're going to have some good young players in AAA. I don't know who they are, but we're going to have some good young players in AAA who are going to be fighting to, you know, earn back the spot or earn opportunity if they're not on the team at opening day. So I think you can extend that to other spots too. Certainly there's opportunity in the outfield to be one. You know, we've got some guys that are, you know, obviously in Reynolds' case, he's going to be there. We got Jack's really, you know, we feel like Jack is a really important part of the team and has earned that. Connor Joe is just a pro and reliable, and he's going to be in that mix. Mention Olivares, he'll be right in the middle of that competition. But there's playing time to be one in the outfield and at different spots on the team, and that's something we're looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
Never easy here in Bradenton. There's Celestino. Hey, thanks a million, Ben.
Brownie.
Thank you, Ben.
Time.
Good to be back. All right.
Yeah, it is. Great stuff from Pirates general manager Ben Cherington as the Pirates and Orioles head to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Bradenton. 1-0 Birds.
You'll notice in this 6-team league, every single one is stacked. It's Minnesota. The impossible has become a reality. A historic day for the Professional Women's Hockey League.
Oh, my Lord.
She really fought hard and
score!
And she'll score! Point streak continues.
Another! Pick on the doorstep. Goal!
Just absolutely fired up. Boy, was she fun to watch.
Don't miss out on seeing the Panthers finish the regular season.
Make the handoff and jammed it home.
Watch Blake Hinson continue his assault on ACC foes.
Blake Hinson.
Get single game tickets while they last.
For 75 years, Eaton Park's been serving incredible, crispy, huge fish sandwiches.
Hayward, you look at that? Cone's got chewy ice and Turner's on tap.
Hayward, you look at this? Fried chicken made from scratch.
Hayward, you look at these? They're made here.
Hayward, you look at this pepperoni roll?
Hayward, you look at those pizzas?
Hayward, you look at this?
Hayward, you look at my Club Cohen savings? Hayward, you mind paying?
Hayward, you look at the time?
Cohen, your fulfilling station.
Part of the Pirates coaching staff, Johnny Tucker, who had been a minor league hitting coordinator for a time, and a time in the Baltimore Orioles organization, a former infielder, outfielder, 20th round pick back in 2004. I imagine you probably had time to play against Johnny Tucker in the minor leagues, didn't you?
I played a bunch against him when I was in Altoona, and he would have been in Bowie, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe Bowie.
Yep. Here's Sung Jae Chang pinch hitting. The Pirates down 1. Now it'll be Termarr Johnson on deck. Thanks again to Ben Cherington. Pirates general manager, you think about watching what he has done now, going into the 5th year, try and rebuild this organization. Neil, he's one of the most focused people I've ever met. There's a fly ball toward right. Just got under it a bit.
Yeah, I think focused is a good word. I mean, he's very insightful, very thoughtful. You know, aware of where things are here and how to get the most out of his players. And you know, he, like anybody else, is a fan on top of being a GM. Sometimes you forget that. You think that maybe these coaches and GMs and whatnot look at players as almost, you know, I don't want to say not human beings or
chess pieces, like.
But
right?
that's not the case.
Right.
You know, you heard him speak about, you know, not looking at the roster from just day one of the season, but understanding you're going to need 6 or 7 or 8 starting pitchers over the course of the year, and 13, 14, 15 relievers, and you know, extra catchers, and being thoughtful about who's in AA and AAA that could possibly fill in if something were to happen. There's so much that goes into it.
We get so caught up as fans on the opening day roster, the 26th. He has to think about, to your point, the whole 162 game schedule, because all these players have an impact.
Well, imagine what must have been going on internally when you see O'Neal Cruz get hurt.
That's right.
nine games into the season, and
the domino effect it has.
Yeah, and from our perspective, getting to see that, but also the fan perspective, you're looking at the lineup and you're going, wow, that this lineup just went from what you would consider a long lineup, stretched out, tough lineup, to a lot shorter with a guy like O'Neal Cruz out of that lineup. So, you know, when you're talking about roster construction, and you're talking about your safety nets and things like that, there is a lot more that goes on to it than player A and B are better than C and D and all of those things.
And the depth that you need throughout. Sergio Alcantara with 2 outs here in the 8th. pitchers for Baltimore. See a lot of this in spring training. When the starter goes, just a couple. And then the relievers, usually just an inning apiece. The parade of pitchers. Alcantara grounded out in the 6th inning. This is his second at bat. Second spring training game. First at home. Contra, infielder who has spent some time in the big leagues. To left. And you never know down here in Florida in spring training, but the catch is made by Bradfield. So the Pirates go down 1-2-3, and we move to the 9th inning. It's still 1-0 Baltimore.
Growing up in Western Pennsylvania, I had family that were construction workers and laborers, and you see how hard people work. That's one of the reasons I wanted to become a lawyer. I see my family and people that I represent. So if you're injured at work, please don't be afraid to call. You should be afraid not to call. There's no fee unless we get money or benefits for you. We want to make the process as easy for you as possible. Call us at 888-99-DUGAN.
People sometimes ask what I've learned in my 2-time battle with cancer. 1 is that with the right treatment, you can beat it. 2 is that it's not just cancer you're battling. You also need to anticipate LE, lymphedema, a disease that can leave those who undergo cancer treatment with a lifetime of swelling and pain. If you're facing a cancer diagnosis, I urge you to discuss lymphedema with your doctor. With knowledge and action, we can learn and live.
My hospital stay would have cost $25,000, but with VA healthcare, it's free.
My education would have cost $42,000, but with VA benefits, my books, tuition, and housing are all covered.
The down payment for my home would have been $74,000, but with my VA home loan, my down payment was $0. My service was then. My benefits are now. Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Here in Bradenton, 1-0 Baltimore. One of the stories today, of course, is Mitch Keller making a spring training debut. 30 pitches, 18 strikes, look good. He'll get the build up as he will have the honor of pitching opening day. And this is his first start, Neil, since that extension we talked about on Friday. It'll be interesting to watch him as he builds up. He knows he's the opening day starter. What he'll be working on and just, again, getting geared up for a long baseball season.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good. A couple walks early, but for the most part, the Mitch that we're accustomed to seeing, pounding the strike zone and getting a couple strikeouts. That double play, as you saw in the first inning there. Our ace getting some work. Day 1 in the books for him.
This is Brady Feigl, and that's going to find a hole. Tyler Nevin, just a ground ball weakly hit, but perfectly placed and into second base, and a safe call there. And give Nevin credit.
And sometimes the shift works for you and sometimes against you. This ball not hit very hard, but put in a perfect location. And then on top of that, you got your outfielders kind of split in center field and had a long way to go just to get to this ball. And tip your cap to Nevin. Even though he takes a little break right there, he's still able to make up for it with a burst there getting into second base.
Looked like maybe 2 guys took a break. The batter and maybe the center fielder thinking he's just going to concede. I didn't see any bobble. So we'll have to give that hustling double for Nevin. And now Daniel Johnson.
Yeah, look at the center fielder. He's playing in that right center field gap. Kind of gets to it. Then nobody's covering second. And it's a foot race.
Yeah. And no, nice play by Brannigan. Track Brannigan over there in foul ground.
Nice job by Brannigan over there, dealing with the wall and the sun. Well, just the last minute works his way back into the field.
Here's Enrique Bradfield facing this lefty Brady Feigl. Feigl was with the Braves organization 10 years ago. He was signed as an undrafted free agent out of little Mount St. Mary's University in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Time in the Braves, Rangers, Padres. Played independent league ball for a few different teams. In fact, last year was playing for both the Frederick Atlantic League team and the Lexington Counterclocks. Pirates. One more shot in the bottom of the ninth, down 1-0. Enrique Bradfield. A couple of nice plays out in left field since coming on a couple of innings back. Hustling double to lead things off for Nevin. Daniel Johnson fouls out. And now time called. Shallow center, Celestino. Interesting to hear Ben Cherington talk about Celestino, and Pirates will be looking for kind of a backup center fielder or a defender in the outfield. Saw Celestino DH down in Fort Myers yesterday. He made his major league debut with these Orioles 3 years ago. A thumb injury out of spring training cost him majority of last season. He's one of those rare guys, Neil, who bats right-handed and throws left-handed. Very unique to see that, and this is going to be a 2-0 Orioles lead. And a nice play in left field. And the out called at second base for the final out, but the run does score, and last shot for the Pirates.
I'm Rocky Blyer. As a former NFL athlete, I know the importance of having great coverage. UPMC for Life gives you plan options starting at $0 per month. You'll have access to the top-ranked care of UPMC, a large network of doctors and hospitals, and out-of-network coverage on our PPO plans. Plus, emergency and urgent care anywhere in the U.S., and a travel concierge program. Get in the game. Call today for free information.
We're so confident in the capability of our SUVs and the performance of our sedans that we offer a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty on every vehicle in our lineup. A fact that should make you confident in your confidence that you've made the right choice with Kia. Lease the new 2024 Sportage LX for $259 a month.
Classic roast beef and crispy fish? Just 2 for $6? If Arby's wasn't already at Arby's, it'd be on its way to Arby's right now. Arby's, we have the meat.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey on Sportsnet is presented by Baseball Card Castle. With over 20 million cards in stock and thousands of authentic autographed items, we are your premier sports card and memorabilia destination. Located on Route 19 in Cranberry Township, where our customer is king.
2-0, and we are going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Nice play at the end there. Left fielder Matt Gorski throwing to second to get the final out. Well, the run scores.
Yeah, off the bat, you assume that this is a guaranteed double. Gorski gets to it really well. Strong throw to make the out. Down 2. Pirates got down to the last 3 outs.
Here's Jack Brannigan. So it's 2 balls and no strikes on Jack Brannigan. He lined out to left field. Enrique Bradfield made that nice play. Ryan Long on the mound. The second inning of work for him. And it is 3-1 on Jack Brannigan. Well, close. Half swing.
Now batting Matt Gorski.
Here is Matt Gorski with 1 out. Couple of strikes. Gorski's numbers.
20 home runs last year. Minor leagues guy has a lot of power.
One hands that one and pops it out of play. .95 miles an hour gets Gorski. Well, here's that player we were talking about at the top of the inning, Alberto Celestino. Throws left, bats right.
You know what they call that, right, Chris?
No, I don't.
The albatross.
Aha. That would make sense. Or the unicorn. But albatross. Over the years, Ricky Henderson, the most famous, I guess, of all those albatross.
Yep.
Pirates have had a couple over the years. Brian Hunter, the first baseman, that the Pirates picked up many years ago from Atlanta. Ryan Ludwig, batted right through left. There are a couple guys on one team for the Houston Astros that do that, which I think they're the only two currently in the majors. Chas McCormick and Jake Myers.
Wow.
Bounce to deep third. That's a fair ball, and the final out. So the Orioles pitchers outduel the Pirates pitchers, but Neil Walker, Mitch Keller towing the rubber, his first start. I think obviously the big story, and a chance to see O'Neal Cruz also out there.
Yeah, we saw Mitch today. He had a nice outing. We saw Dari Moreta. As you mentioned earlier, the lineup was somewhat similar to what you may see at some point during the season. Just to see O'Neal Cruz move around. He made a nice play at shortstop. Got a couple at bats, even though one was cut short by a pitch clock violation. Brian Reynolds, Ke'Bryan Hayes. It was a good jumping point for these guys to get back into the game action, get the juices flowing, and get the games underway here in spring training.
Yeah, it's fun to be back. Great to have you with us here today. Final score 2-0 as Baltimore beats the Bucks. We'd like to thank Mitch Keller and Leo Vera-Peguero, Pirates manager Derek Shelton, Ben Cherington in the booth with us. For Hannah Mears and Neil Walker, Greg Brown thanking you for spending your afternoon with us. Don't forget, you can watch tomorrow's game between the Pirates and the Blue Jays from Dunedin right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. It starts at 1 o'clock.
Does it get any better than this? A true Major League experience here at the North Shore Tavern. If you want the best and most memorable meal here in Pittsburgh, then you want the North Shore Tavern, Pittsburgh's home of Steak on a Stone.
I'm attorney Mitch Dugan. If you're injured at work, we'll fight for the check you deserve. I've been practicing workers' compensation law for over 30 years, and my firm has represented thousands of people. If you're not able to come to us, we'll come to you. Call us now for a free consultation. There's never a fee unless you get the money or benefits you deserve. Hurt at work? Injured in an accident? Call your hometown team. Dugan and Associates. 888-99-DUGAN.
When a rookie stunt driver meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all. Again. There's bound to be action. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad, so you better act fast. Don't miss out on impressive President's Day savings.
Let's roll.
Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or get $2,000 in MAC cash on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
Hurry into the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
If you want a true Hall of Fame dining experience, then you want the North Shore Tavern. Pittsburgh's home for Steak on the Stone. Just a stone's throw away from PNC Park.
Due to the length of the previous program, we now join the following program already in progress.
Manager Neil Huntington was willing to step up and help with the unloading.
Yes, the talent and the pitcher and the upside was a no-brainer. What we were giving up and how much money we were taking on became points of contention.
The Pirates, ever searching for a top-end starter, agreed to pick up $13 million of Burnett's pay to make it work. The Pirates trade for A.J. Burnett in exchange for Diego Moreno and Exicardo Queones. Burnett won 35 games with a .334 ERA and a .126 WHIP in 3 years with the Bucks. He struck out 532 batters, won 16 games in 2012, and was an All-Star in 2015. Burnett became a major force in propelling the Pirates from a losing franchise into a playoff team, hoisting the Bucks past 20 years of losing.
We brought in a veteran winner that had won a World Series, that was the ace of the staff, or had been the ace of the staff, that had a charisma about him, the way he carried himself, a competitor that just went out to win.
I do believe that I was a part of it. I do believe that I left a stamp on a lot of guys here. You know what, they had it. They had it when I came. They competed. I wish I knew exactly what it was, but it was just one little thing that was missing, you know, and then, I don't know, maybe it was me.
Our 10 great trades countdown continues with numbers 6, 7, and 8, including a swap of ace pitchers.
That wasn't a hard choice to make, with that's the only two scenarios I had.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. If you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to tell you how much your case is potentially worth. So, Tom, tell the viewers watching at home who should call in right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. We have live agents available to answer any questions you have. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it, folks. Call now.
Number 8. Chuck Tanner, chucked back home.
Rife with talent, the Pirates needed a boost in the skipper department. Pirates GM Pete Peterson fixated on Chuck Tanner from Newcastle, who was managing the Oakland A's. Oakland owner Charlie Finley had just lost a league decision concerning Tanner's salary. With his former employers, the Chicago White Sox, no longer responsible for covering the cost, Finley wasn't interested in keeping a pricey manager. In November of 1976, a rare deal went down. The Pirates trade for Chuck Tanner in exchange for Manny Sanguillen and $100,000.
Charlie Finley called me. He said, they want you. They offered me Sanguillen or $100,000. He said, they really want you. I'm going to make them give me both. I said, oh, that's not right, Charlie. You can't do that. He said, they'll give it to me because I know they want you. I said, well, I want to go there, but you got to be fair. They gave him $100,000 in Sanguillen.
A 3-time All-Star catcher, Sanguillen was an outstanding and popular player. Trading him for a manager drew ire from the fan base. As one of the great managers in team history, Tanner was special with the Pirates. He won 711 games in 9 years, including 96 games in 1977 and 98 games and a World Series title in 1979. With a .509 winning percentage with Pittsburgh, Tanner is 4th on the franchise all-time wins list. At that point, it was just the second instance in baseball history that a manager was traded.
Number 7. Number 7. Doug Drabek, ace swap.
Rick Rhoden had made it known a year prior that he wanted to be traded. Everyone in baseball knew it. Pirates GM Sid Thrift sat on Rhoden's request throughout a 1986 season in which Rhoden won 15 games with a .113 WHIP and made the All-Star team.
I have a written dossier on who was offered for Roden, and it's kind of like a Saturday Night Live almost. It's a comedy show because some of the players were really players that they were on the verge of releasing, players that really had never played in the big leagues and what we didn't think were prospects.
Roden's value was through the roof by November 26, 1986, a day before Thanksgiving. Thrift's patience paid off. The Pirates trade for Doug Drabek, Logan Easley, and Brian Fisher in exchange for Rick Roden, Cecilio Guante, and Pat Clements. It was a 6-pitcher swap, the centerpiece of which was the 33-year-old star, Roden, who was 5th in the Cy Young voting in 1986.
I just remember getting a call that I had until the next day or something to accept the trade, going to the Yankees. My choice was this: either go play for the Yankees, who are in a big market that draw 40,000 a night, or play with the Pirates, who aren't very good and are drawing 8,000 a night. That wasn't a hard choice to make, but that's the only two scenarios I had, so I went to the Yankees.
While as a tenured veteran, Roden had the luxury of calling shots on the deal, Drabek, a 23-year-old rookie, didn't even receive a courtesy call.
I was probably more surprised than anything because I didn't hear about it, actually heard about it through a reporter. And he asked me how I felt about the trade. I was like, what are you talking about? I had no idea about it. I haven't heard. So
Drabek went 92-62 in 6 years with the Pirates. 4 times he won 15 games or more, including going 22-6 and winning the Cy Young Award in 1990. He recorded a .302 ERA and a .114 WHIP and helped the Bucs to 3 straight playoff appearances. It was a move that dealt 2 great pitchers in Pirates history. Roden, the best Pirate pitcher of the 1980s, and Drabek, the best Pirate pitcher of the 1990s.
Everything was on the upswing and stuff, so I was excited about it.
Number 6. Number 6. Tony Pena. No fooling.
There was April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it was yesterday.
That's your Tony Pena.
Tony Pena was the Pirates' best player and a highly popular figure in the city. Pena cultivated 11 years in a Pirates uniform. He loved it. A 4-time All-Star, Pena won 3 Gold Gloves, topping the majors in caught stealings in 1984 and 1985. Suddenly on April 1st, 1987, April Fool's Day, in the boldest move in the Sid Thrift era, Pena was a Pirate no more. The Pirates trade Tony Pena in exchange for Andy Van Slyke, Mike LaValliere, and Mike Dunn. It was a big deal that shocked the city.
You hated to lose to Tony Pena because he really was not only a popular player with the fans, but a popular player with his teammates.
More than anyone, it jolted the 29-year-old Pena, who never wanted to leave.
Since that moment, I started crying. I felt like a little kid. I feel like a little kid, I get kicked in my rear end. I feel like I was kicked out of my house.
Because we know we're traded. And we decide that there's 2 places we don't want to go. Montreal, because we don't speak French, and Pittsburgh. So I remember, grabbing my stuff, walking out to my wife, tear in the eye, and just devastated.
The aftermath was a drastic swing in the Pirates' favor. Pena never performed at the same level he'd attained in Pittsburgh.
I thought I was going to be a Pirate all my life.
Meanwhile, Andy Van Slyke burst onto the scene in Pittsburgh, hitting .293 and rocketed into one of the top players in the game by 1988. He was a 3-time All-Star, a 2-time Silver Slugger winner. On 2 occasions, he finished 4th in the MVP voting, and as a center fielder, he was electrifying, a winner of 5 Gold Gloves. Mike LaValliere hit .300 and led the league with a 45% caught stealing percentage and won a Gold Glove his first year as a Pirate, replacing Pena behind the plate. In 7 years as a Pirate, he batted .278. Van Slyke and LaValliere were both key additions who raised the Pirates into 3 division-winning teams from 1990 to 1992.
Let's just say, started off rough, but couldn't have ended up any better.
This trade, more than any other, elevated the Pirates out of the mid-1980s pit they had fallen into, making it number 6 on our list.
10 Great Pirates trades returns with numbers 3 through 5, including a mad, crazy deal that set up a World Series championship.
That last piece that made the difference. So it was a great trade. Yeah.
It's easy to stay safe online. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day. SelectQuote found Michael, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. SelectQuote found Anna, 37, a $750,000 policy for under $23 a month. SelectQuote's secret? They comparison shop a select group of great companies like these for your best rate. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. Since 1985, SelectQuote has saved over 1 million families millions of dollars on life insurance.
Call now, 1-800-996-4351. That's 1-800-996-4351. Or go to SelectQuote.com.
Discover what over 1 million families know. We shop, you save.
It's the holidays and many kids are asking for phones and devices. But for parents and caregivers, the real ask of the season is, are you ready and are they ready for mobile life? Not sure where to start? Go to healthychildren.org/phone ready quiz today.
Number 5. Number 5. Frank Thomas, Cat's Meow.
Frank Thomas was a popular local guy who grew up just minutes away from Forbes Field. He just procured a career year in 1958, making his 3rd All-Star team, finishing 4th in MVP voting, crushing 35 home runs, driving in 109 runs, and posing as a Sports Illustrated cover boy.
And he was a favorite. He's a Pittsburgh boy and a good guy.
The Pirates trade for Smokey Burgess, Harvey the Kitten Haddix, and Don Tiger Hoke in exchange for Frank Thomas, Whammy Douglas, John Powers, and Jim Pendleton. While it wasn't well received, the trade turned out to be the best Brown ever made in his respected career with the Pirates.
I've never thought about the reaction on the part of the fans or the press either. Because if you're concerned about what other people think, then you're not going to do what you know you should do.
When we got Harvey and a couple players from Cincinnati, boy, that really helped us. Don Hoke and Smokey Burgess and Harvey, boy, that made a difference for us. And so we just, felt pretty good about ourselves at that point.
The Pirates' take on the trade was a flood of talent, led by catcher Smokey Burgess, who became a 4-time All-Star in Pittsburgh, hitting .296 overall and .333 in the 1960 World Series. He was one of the great pinch hitters in MLB history, still ranking 4th all-time. Burgess also caught the greatest game ever pitched. That game came from pitcher Harvey the Kitten Haddix, who in 1959 threw a perfect game for 12 innings before losing it in the 13th. Haddix won 45 games in 5 years, including 2 games in the 1960 World Series. He was the winning pitcher in Game 7. A fiery third baseman nicknamed Tiger, Don Hoke batted .281 in 4 years with the Pirates and finished 2nd in the MVP voting in 1960.
We have to have somebody at third base who can come close to him in power. We need a left-hand hitting catcher, and we need a starting left-hand pitcher. Well, those were the 3 guys.
All 3 men were major contributors to the Pirates' glorious upset of the vaunted New York Yankees in the 1960 World Series.
Number 4. Number 4, Bill Madlock, Mad Love.
The 1979 Pirates were loaded with talent, but midway through the season, they needed a boost. The Bucs stood 6.5 games back and tied for 3rd place in the division on the day of the trade. June 28, 1979, GM Pete Peterson pulled the trigger on a big move. The Pirates trade for Bill Madlock, Lenny Randle, and Dave Roberts in exchange for sending the San Francisco Giants Fred Breining, Al Holland, and Ed Whitson.
That was kind of like the final piece of the puzzle, moving guys around, getting Garner